Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, James K. Sada, and with me today is a very funny comedian who, and also actor. She just got back from doing Netflix as a joke, and she's here to talk today. Coming up on her next special recording at Grove 34. It's going to be her third 1 hour special that she's recording at Grove. Please welcome Subhah Agarwal.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for doing this.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you. So I did listen to both your specials today,
Oh, shit.
your first two. Yeah, I was like, I should probably check these out. And then my morning was kind of like open and I was like, I'm going to keep listening. So first of all, you hooked me. That was great.
Thank you.
And yeah, I wanted to start by, I come from improv and sketch background. So a lot of my questions might be dumb stand-up questions about stuff that I just am clueless about. Listening to the development between your first and second special, it reminded me of music, like how bands, typically a first album for a band is just like, this is a collection of my best songs. Like there isn't really a concept or, a framework to it. Most of the time it's just like, this is how I sound. This is the sound that I'm going for. And here it is, 10 tracks. And then the second one might have like a little bit more of a framework or an aesthetic. And I loved in your second special, the through line of the halt.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was really, really great. And there were all sorts of like through lines and you did a really nice job like weaving storytelling with like just, self-contained jokes too. Does that resonate with you? Like, how do you kind of look at the progression between one special to the next and your upcoming one?
Well, the first special was kind of just about like a point in time in my life. Like it was the main story in that one was about me having to tell my mom I wasn't a virgin. And so I was also aging out of that material really rapidly. I was like, I can't be like 30 years old and be like, oh my God, my mom doesn't know I'm a virgin. Like I was like, I have to record this special. So like, that's kind of what it was about. Like that point in time, like the idea of like kind of like being myself and like having to, finally come into my own. So that was like the first hour. And then the second one, I just thought of that acronym when people are like hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Like if you're really upset, take a breath. Trying to manage your emotions. And the second album was centered around mental health. So that framework popped into my head and I was like, yes, I'm going to try and like encapsulate just as like a fun writing trick, And I like that. I like when not every special does this, but I like when an hour of comedy is like a show. I'm like, I want there to be a reason for it to be that long of a format other than it's like impressive. Like I wrote an hour of jokes. So, and then this third one is all about dreams. And I think I hit the structure on this one the hardest out of all of the other ones. So even with Halt, I feel like I could have like nailed that in harder or like brought it up more so people really understood. Cause like your average person, it's pretty amazing how much they don't take in or they just are like casually listening or they just like forget stuff and it goes out of there. Like everyone's attention span is like this.
Totally.
So my third hour is kind of all about the concept of chasing a dream versus living in the moment and like your best life and like what are we all doing? Like how do you figure things out for yourself? And so, it's overarching the structure, the topic, the theme is about dreams.
And do you put a lot of pressure on yourself for like upping your game for the structure and storytelling of it?
Not really. I just try to do, I have like a method, it's like I'll run through all the jokes once at clubs, then I'll come back to it like 6 months, a year later, run through the same jokes, see if they're still strong, if I can punch them up. And then normally so far, I haven't written to a theme. Like it's just kind of emerged out of like wherever I am in my life. There's normally something that's like in my brain that I keep coming back to. And so from that perspective, I'll start looking at like grouping jokes into different sections, seeing what, like, should I write to this now? Like, how do I put this together into an hour? So far, I've just been letting it happen organically. And then like once I have about 2 hours worth of jokes that I really like, trying to be like, how do I get this into an hour?
Awesome. And are you like doing this in a notebook or like a whiteboard? Like what are your go-to tools?
It's really nerdy.
Or just like sitting staring at a wall until it comes to you?
No, I do it in a spreadsheet, which is very,
no, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
It's the fastest way for me to do it and like be able to process.
I can't tell you how much I relate to that. I have so many comedy spreadsheets.
Oh, good.
I don't know if everybody will, because I mean, I think it is also nerdy. I don't talk about it a lot, but like the amount of like sketches or casting or my buddy and mine, we made a bunch of short form improv games. We would do it, like come up with a new one every week. And we have a spreadsheet that I still use and reference.
It's so much easier. And then like when I'm moving around jokes, I can just grab a cell and like move it, like physically. Like it's so easy.
Yeah. And so how has that developed for you over time doing stand-up? Have you always been a spreadsheet person when it comes to comedy? Or
I think when I first started trying to organize it for my first hour, I used a spreadsheet and then I was like, okay, perfect. Like this just makes the most sense.
Yeah. Again, for me as like more improv sketch side of things, even though like creatively every process or project has its own approach to it, but I feel like for improv and sketch, there are more like norms. I mean, because it's collaborative, people kind of have to have, there's a little bit more demand for like go-to tools or formats. But for stand-up, it's like, it's so personal that it's like whatever works for you.
Yeah, and comedians have like wild systems. Like they'll just open up their backpack and they've like written jokes in the backs of receipts. Or like some people, it's like all in their head. Like, yeah, like comedians are messy. So it's whatever weird shit they've got cooking. But for me, I always had to keep it super organized and otherwise I would just forget I wrote stuff. That was the part that started irritating me before I organized it. People would be like, I really like that joke you did. And I'd be like, oh shit, I forgot I did that, Which is why I had to start getting really organized because I was like, oh, what am I doing?
Because it would be like an ad lib or crowd work or
no.
Like how do you? I
just worked on it.
You just, I guess I'm wondering like, how do you end up with a joke that you forget if you didn't? Are you like sitting before the show being like, okay, what am I going to do? And you just never wrote it down or you forgot where you wrote it down?
Yeah. Like if you're like writing jokes and then you're always coming up with new jokes, like what you're doing hopefully 3 months from now isn't what you were doing 3 months earlier in terms of the stuff you're working on. And then sometimes you'll just forget.
Got it. Yeah. I guess I do have like many notebooks where I'll write down like for coaching or something and I'll be like, oh, that's something I should start saying or teaching in groups. And then I'll be like, why do I have 5 notebooks in different backpacks so I guess that relates to the improv and sketch world a little more than I thought. But and then also you also have been doing a lot of like social media posting.
Yeah, I've been trying.
Yeah. Is that more of a recent thing? Like the
I mean, the
commentary
industry,
stuff?
Yeah, the industry totally shifted in terms of stand-up comedy. It's like very much an influencer's game. So in terms of like who's getting booked, who's doing specials. So it was kind of like adapt or die kind of a moment. You know what I mean?
So like, and are you getting pressure from like manager, agent kind of thing? Or that's kind of just what you notice and then what have to keep up with?
Yeah, it's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when did you start doing like kind of influencer commentary stuff?
I started doing a little bit of it during the pandemic, but not a ton. And then when it became so obvious, you know what I mean? Where it's like Netflix specials to influencers who we all know, like, don't tell jokes and like our friends are writing jokes for them or like being on like Variety's top 10 list, even though they're not a comedian, it's just when it was like that flagrant in the atmosphere or like it just became undeniable. It's like, okay, well, if you want these opportunities, especially even like headlining road dates, like it used to be if you're a solid comic and there's still like room for that, especially if you have a pre-existing relationship with the booker, but a lot of the onus is completely shifted onto the performer to fill the seats.
Yeah.
So, it's like if you can't do that, if you don't have a big enough following, then it's like you literally cannot work on your craft in a meaningful way.
Yeah. I guess people used to look to venues for discoverability, whereas now they look to social media for discoverability.
But it was like better that way because the venue would curate a lineup and then people would trust the venue. But now like a lot of these venues will just have whoever. And so nobody trusts the venue because they're like, what the hell was that? Yeah. So now it's like, I don't think it's great, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. It just is what it is. So yeah.
Well, yeah. Regardless of the downsides, your social media game is great. I mean,
thank you.
like your page is very well curated. You've got a nice mix of clips and live show clips, and like promo stuff, and then also, these like social political type, which are also great.
Thanks.
Like, how often are you taking some of those bits and doing them live, or testing a bit live and then doing it in that format?
I would say every now and then something I'll do like as commentary. I'll be like, oh, that could be a bit, but it's rare. Most of it is just like super topical, just because I think that works best for social media, like whatever's trending, whatever the hashtag is. But very rarely will I pull that into my set, but it'll happen sometimes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then I guess you can always just kind of like delete something that isn't performing well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how is that on like the volume of content that you have to be like? Are you doing more writing, or are you just putting out more than you would have been writing it anyway?
Yeah. So this is, I mean, in terms of stand-up, I always wrote a lot, so that didn't change. In terms of volume of what I'm putting out, that's increased a lot. And like I talked to my friend who kind of works in social media a little bit, and she told me to post even more. She's like 7 times a week, so I've upped it even more.
Wow. Yeah. So daily. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, and I like pre-edited a batch. She's like, you need a batch edit or you're going to go insane. So I have a bunch like sitting on my phone waiting for me to post.
Do you do the thing where you like switch outfits when you batch record?
I don't know that. The new stuff is all like in the moment, like day of, because I'm trying to jump on like a trending or a hashtag to get the algorithm to pick me up. But stand up, no. And like, there's the thing about social media. She's like, don't worry if you're repeating the same joke. Like if it looks different or if the text is, or it's edited different, like it's okay.
Yeah. I've thought about this, like, cause I've been doing more booking for stand up. I run a couple monthly stand up shows and doing clipping, and some comics are understandably more precious about like, that joke isn't quite ready yet, or I'm saving it for my special coming up or something. Totally fair. Others are like, no, put it out there. I don't care if the same joke gets clipped like 4 or 5 times. It gets served a different audience.
Yeah. I think it also really depends on where you are and what your following is like. Because if you do have people who are following you on social media coming to your shows, like, and it's the majority of people who are there to see you, I could understand being conscious of like, maybe I shouldn't be putting out all of this stuff that I want them to pay to see.
Yeah. Am I crazy though? I feel like we would on like road trips. I'm from Michigan. We would take trips like up north, and Jeff Foxworthy, for instance, is an album that we would listen to. The You Might Be a Redneck If. I probably would listen to that like 10 times a year when I was growing up on these like long drives.
It's changed so much too. So I'm saying that because like when I sell tickets, like the amount of people who have like heard a joke I said, or like it's a fraction of the audience, that shows up, as opposed to people who are like, oh, I'll check this out, or I'll saw a post, but I don't really follow. You're not a super fan. I'm talking about people who have like followers that are like, they'll die for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
a lot of these like podcasters / comedians develop such a like entrenched loyal following that they have probably heard every single thing they've said because they're like obsessed.
And does that diminish it? Like, or do people still get enjoyment out of like?
See, that's what I'm wondering, because it's also changed. The way people consume content has also changed so much. Where like I feel like they're now more culturally accepting of, oh, I've heard this joke 5 times and I'm still gonna laugh.
Yeah. I honestly, I found that surprising. Again, as I get more into booking and watching and clipping stuff, I enjoy seeing like the different nuances of delivery in each set, or like I personally have to see somebody's joke like 5 or 6 times before I stop enjoying it. Like I find different reasons to enjoy it every time, and maybe that's because I'm in the comedy world, but I like to think that I keep a decent like audience perspective and just enjoy comedy too. And I am curious. I don't know. Maybe people can chime in. If this gets clipped, how many times can you hear a comedian's joke before you need something new?
Yeah, I don't know. But right now I'm just in like a growth mindset. Like I'm just trying to get numbers up. So I'm like, whatever, just throw it at the wall.
Yeah. And again, I think like curating after the fact is also like, if things don't take off, you can just take it, or even if it does, if you're like, oh, that you had a clip that went viral, and if you want to repurpose it or protect it more, then you can take it off your feed. I feel like I forget that's an option, that like once you put something on your main feed that like it's out there forever now, it can't be erased. And I'm sure to some degree that's true, but like you can archive or delete something you posted.
Also, nobody cares.
Yeah. There's so much noise out there.
Yeah.
Like nobody's closely following like the little changes you make to your own pages.
Yeah.
And also like, so I'm guessing you're doing Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and all of those have little differences in the format too.
Yeah.
Is that driving you insane? How much are you doing like the, deep dive on software editing and different programs? Well,
I know you should have to edit it in like different programs, or at least make them think you've edited it in different programs, at least with like TikTok and IG. So I do that, but it's like one of those things where it's like I could sit here and bitch, but I'm like, I don't have the power to change it. So I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, well.
Was there a point when you were like more resistant to it and now you're kind of like over that hump?
Yeah, because I was really hoping, because I've been in comedy for like 19 years, and you used to see social media bubbles. Like you'd see waves come in where they'd be like Twitter comics was like the first real one that popped. And then you would see a lot of them fail because it's like, it's not real. And then there were IG comics, and then Twitter, Vine, IG, and then came TikTok and the pandemic. And something about the combination of TikTok and the pandemic fundamentally changed the landscape to where like it's not going away.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's unfortunately a part of things forever. So that's like when I stopped fighting it, because it's like I like old school media. I like storytelling, either through stand-up or TV or film. And to me, it's really hard to have that sort of in-depth connection in like these shorter form formats. So it didn't really appeal to me too much, even though I follow people. I like certain content creators a lot. I really like Drewski. I think that man's crazy.
Who is it?
Drewski.
I don't know if I know.
Oh, he's great. He's really funny. But yeah, so it was never what I was doing, because I also feel like for me to be good at all three, like writing, acting, comedy, it's like it takes so much effort, and I never wanted to pull back on the three things I actually really, really love. So it just was like, I don't know. I never put as much energy as probably would have greatly benefited me had I done it earlier. But I always assumed the industry would kind of go back. Yeah.
And you're saying you think the point of no return has been crossed?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be baked in. I don't know. It's like, this is unprecedented. I have no idea. I keep hoping it will, but.
Yeah. I mean, this feels like a conversation that everybody's having.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm rooting for AI ruins social media and the internet so much that people get driven back to live show experiences.
People are like, live shows are prospering right now because people want like actual human to human connection.
Yeah.
Which is like awesome.
Yeah. And storytelling is a big part of that. And again, like you do a great job of that. And is that something that is also like kind of trending in the stand-up world, is more storytelling? Like I know Birbiglia's specials, for instance, are like, he even goes as far to be like, I'm an off-Broadway, and I think some of his shows have been Broadway, not like stand-up. And so there's something more theatrical to that idea. Is that a trend, or is that just kind of my algorithm?
That's always been there. I feel like the one person shows, or the comedian, more so I would say in like Fringe in Europe and stuff, at least in my experience, and necessarily in the States. But yeah, like one person shows, that sort of theatrical element, like that's always been there. And then I think it's crossing over more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't really this is meant to be a compliment on the Birbiglia point, but I was like, oh, it's interesting that like he, instead of labeling it as a stand-up show, he's labeling it as a one-man show.
Yeah,
but if you go to see it, it feels very much like stand-up, and there's a couple moments of like bigger production, but like I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I think what he's seeing is a different kind of value to treating it like theater. And
A lot of comedians do that now. There's lots of one-person shows, yeah.
It feels like that would be a turnoff like 10, 15 years ago. People would be like, one-man show. Like, no, I want to see comedy, not theater. Like, but yeah, again, maybe I haven't been paying attention too closely.
It depends.
Yeah.
Somebody went to a really bad production of Les Miserables, and now they're sworn off.
Yeah. But cool. Solo shows are coming back. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. Anything else you want to plug on the special itself that people can look forward to in the content or the package of it?
Just that it is really joke heavy. So, I mean, I think if you're a fan of comedy, you'll like it regardless. But also, if you've ever like questioned your path in life or chased a dream or wondered what that was like or what it would have been like if you had followed your wildest idea, like this will resonate extra hard, especially with like creatives or people like business owners, anyone who took a chance on anything, love, whatever it is, like this will resonate pretty hard.
Well, which is also a great segue for a couple follow-up questions I have that I picked up on from your listening to those two specials. Can I ask you, you mentioned very briefly, I think it's in your first one, that you were a psychic for
Oh, yeah.
you were doing like tarot card readings for...
Very brief. I did it once and it was so bad I never did it again.
People didn't buy it? You didn't feel good at it?
No, they really thought I was like, I thought tarot card reading was just like a party trick. Like I booked a Halloween party and these people thought I was real. Like they were asking me like serious questions. And I was I was literally 19. They gave me wine. And to be fair, I did ham it up. Like I dressed in full Indian clothes to look like extra psychic, which is like so racist against myself, but it was what I had. So
use it.
But they were asking me like serious questions. I thought like, you get your tarot read at a Halloween party. And I looked up how to do it properly. So I wasn't just like bullshitting them. Like I studied and learned it. And yeah, they were like genuinely looking to me for life guidance. So I was trying to be as vague as possible and just give them like positive energy.
Yeah. You know what?
So
that seems like the standard for that. That seems like the thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is probably like this is the one where I was like, I could never do this again. Like the lady who booked me said she had miscarried multiple times. And then she asked me if she was going to keep this baby.
Oh my gosh. She was like currently pregnant asking you this? Like, oh man.
And you want to know the craziest part? I flipped the tarot over. No, that baby was dead as fuck. Like,
holy shit.
Okay, I didn't tell her that. But according to the tarot, it could not have been clearer. I was like,
fine. Yeah.
Holy shit. And so like, I was like, oh, right. This here means it's still in the air. So if you listen to your doctor, no, I was lying through my teeth. But I was like, I can't do this. I thought people would realize that was a party trick.
Yeah. Because also, nobody wants the bad news. They want you to tell them. Like,
but also, like, if you put that in somebody's head, especially if somebody was like pregnant, like
that affects things.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. Like she gets stressed out. That's not good for the baby. So I just was like, I told her to listen to her doctor.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
That's the best prophetic advice. Is like consult a doctor.
It was insane.
Yeah. Okay, and then also small mention of you were a clown on a boat.
Yeah. That sucked.
Yeah, what were you? How did that come to be?
It was just like, I think, again, Craigslist, real bad. But I was desperate to make money in college. There was a tour boat in Pittsburgh called the Gateway Clipper, and they put out an ad for somebody to work as like, at first I was supposed to be a mascot. They had a River Rover, the seafaring dog.
Gotcha.
But it was so hot. I was sweating so much, and the head was so big for my small body that like I couldn't really control it. I kept like falling over and like almost like smashing children with my giant dog head.
And there's nothing more clown than that.
But they shifted me from mascot to clown duty.
And then they're just like, here's a bunch of makeup. Make yourself a clown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still have those socks. So let me keep the socks. But it was like, according to the other clown, who was also like a very tiny girl, she was like, the reason they picked us is because she used to have children working here and we fit the costumes and she got busted for child labor.
Yeah, so now she needs childlike adults who can
Yes.
fit into the...
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
awful.
child clowns, children entertaining children.
Yeah, no. Okay, and then kind of on the opposite end of things, you also mentioned that you... did you get a master's in actuary? Bachelor's in actuary mathematics, is that right?
Yeah. It's like... I think different schools call it. It's either actuarial mathematics or actuarial sciences. It's like math and statistics with a little bit of econ.
Thus the spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then so do you? I mean, are you still a mathy person? You enjoy math, like, or no? You never we were just doing it as like plan A or plan B.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most Indian thing I'm going to say. Like, I knew I wanted to be a comedian in high school. But I also didn't know how to get to New York or feed myself or like get money or like a job. So I wanted a backup way to like make money while I was, or like somebody to pay me to go to New York, like a company if you get a good enough thing. And then my friend told me that there were a ton of actuary jobs in New York. So I just picked that major. I didn't really look into it, which actually was a mistake. But yeah, I wanted math or science because it was really easy for me. Like I didn't really have to study or work that hard. I just knew I could get A's in it.
Humble brag.
Which I know. I just wanted, again, that was like the most Indian thing I was going to say. But like if I had majored in my mind writing or something, I would have gotten engrossed. That would have taken up my time. And I was doing stand-up while I was in college. So I didn't want to like think about anything else. I just want to be like, oh, I can just do this test. Well, I'll be fine. But I regret that. I should have studied writing and what I actually cared about.
Yeah. Well, retrospect. What do they say? 2020.
Yeah.
Retrospect is 2020.
Hindsight.
Hindsight is 2020. Thank you. Okay, great. Well, we'll do some pulp questions as we come to a close here. Let me ask you first. All-time favorite comedians. First three that come to mind.
I mean, she's like of a newer generation, but I love Ellie Wong. I'm a little obsessed.
Oh, yeah?
Bill Burr, Maria Bamford, Chris Rock, I would say, like, are some of the ones I love the most.
That's a great list. What about lately? Who are some comedians that more people should know about, in your view?
I'm probably just going to say my friends, but I do mean it.
I expected you.
Well, this one, like, she is well known, but do you know Marina Franklin? She was at the Cellar a lot. She's incredible. Greer Barnes, also at the Cellar a lot. Just like a local legend. So unique. His style is so unique. Love him. My friend Minuan Hart, who is wonderful. And yeah, those are the three that are popping into my head right now.
How about top three favorite comedy movies or first that come to mind?
Bend It Like Beckham is one of my favorite comedy movies.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's so good.
I'll take the recommendation. Maybe I'll put it on my list.
As a little Indian girl who fought with her family and loved soccer, it was probably the first comedy movie I saw where I was like, oh, wow. Like it was so consequential to me as a little kid seeing that. I loved it. I still quote it. Nobody knows what the fuck I'm saying except for like 3 Indians, but I'm obsessed.
That's awesome.
And I mean, I love Bridesmaids, Hangover, like all the classic ones, you know?
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So one more time, we'll plug the special that's coming up on Saturday, May 23rd.
Yes. 8 p.m.
8 p.m. At Grove 34.
Yes.
And hit us with your social medias or anything else you want us to follow.
Just find me on TikTok at Subhah Comedy, SUBHAH. And then Instagram is Subhaha. Sorry. SUBHAHA. And then I think my YouTube is just my name at Subhah.
Well, thanks again so much for chatting with me, Subhah.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Looking forward to the special. I genuinely,
thank you.
You've made me a true fan. I will be there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. and then watching the clips 5 or 6 times before I get bored of them. Thanks so much again.
Oh, appreciate you.